Hello everyone, welcome to my next video. In today's video we are going to discuss about how to actualize custom icons for apps, contacts, string, Hues and greater. So without wasting our time, let's start the session. In Actualize custom icons of app for apps, contacts, strong Hues and greater. I have all the time been absorbed with the aid of workflow accomplishing of add to home screen are characteristics that angle kept within the transition to the shortcuts app and which enables clients to actualize home reveals icons to start their favorite shortcuts. So previous this age I determined I wish to learn how shortcuts changes in handling the creation of domestic reveals icons. After a few weeks of experiment and refinements, I finished up reverse engineering shortcuts add to home monitor implementation, which seems to be an evolution of workflows presents hack based on safaris and web clips. The influence is home screen, figure creator, an advanced shortcut that allows you to actualize custom home screen icons to initiate apps. Custom shortcuts from the shortcut apps are certain moves for any of your contacts. The adjustment can also generate icons with strong hues, which you can combine with matching wallpaper to create custom home display layouts. This shortcut is by means of some distance the most complicated piece of iOS automations I've ever put collectively for Mac stories, and I'm chuffed with the remaining product. I fully replicates a local shortcuts feature while giving you the liberty to create icons and launchers to anything else you want. There is no configuration fundamental on the person's end. It will acquire your seconds to create your first custom figure. Finished ambience on how this shortcut got here to be. The way it works at the back of the scenes and what that you could build with it. To create domestic reveals launchers, both workflow and shortcut rely on a technique that includes landing approximately HTML in Carnival through a knowledge URL that incorporates HTML content material encoding in base, not like its macOS analog Carnival on an iOS doesn't support opening HTML files directly in the browser as a defined ultimate anniversary on membership Mac stories, where I am currently constructing a, a series of shortcuts in response to this conception. The most effective way to mount HTML in Safari for iOS is to give it with an encoded code connected to an information URL. You may well be accepted with this touchdown web page, which explains tips on how to add a shortcut to the domestic reveal. What you may not be aware of is that years in the past, earlier than their accretion, the workflow crew got here up with an ingenious concept, which Angle is still using these days for shortcuts. Below the hood, these landing pages comprise JavaScript code that is simply executed back. The web page is launched as an internet app from the iOS domestic display Angle now, and again calls these internet clips Here is referred to as a standalone approach, and it explains why each time you focus on an adjustment icon from the domestic display. You see a splash reveal for ad earlier than the linked mention is launched. You are comfortably opening an internet app that immediately redirects you to a distinct URL. But how does the computerized evaluation work? That's the charming hack the workflow engineers devised years ago. Afterward, you choose to add an adjustment to the home screen, and its run adjustment URL scheme is assigned a specific link ID in the HTML code of the net app. Using JavaScript and mouse events, the net app again simulates a mouse click on this invisible hyperlink, which launches the URL immediately. As a consumer, you don't see any of this. The hyperlink isn't printed on the web page, and all you see is its initial splash reveal below the hood. The figure you tap on the home screen hundreds a local web app for and before launching the URL embedded inside its code. It's crucial to what that I ought to not to decompile anything to find this. All of the cipher is available to users of the shortcuts app via the Carnival address bar. Earlier than adding a shortcut to the home page monitor replica, the records URL from Safari, locate the base component and run it by any network provider or app that may decodes base textual content. You will be presented with a full copy of HTML code that shortcuts in the usage of Actualize launchers on the domestic screen. Once I figure out how shortcuts could actualize web clips that launches URL schemes instantly without personal interplay, I all started modifying angles code to fit my needs and preferences. I delivered the choice to create several types of launchers together with the ability to begin any URL scheme for any app. I advised a landing page for a carnival. I got here up with my own way key work around for acknowledging splash monitors, which involved writing media queries and calculating WebKit pixel ratios according to machine decision, all whereas designing the adjustment to summary. This complicating from the person as a lot viable. I had the first version of this shortcut up and operating weeks ago. I waited as a result of I need to accomplish it prettier, greater, refined and less demanding to run for everything. But sufficient with the abstruse particulars. Let's lift a look at how the adjustment works. The shortcut helps sorts of launchers which may also be introduced as icons to the iOS home reveal. As soon because the shortcut begins running, you will be asked to choose the sort of home reveal launcher you want to create. This manner needs to be again on each piece of equipment where you are looking to add a figure. As a result of web clips don't sync across iOS gadgets. If you decide to actualize a launcher for a normal URL arrangement, you will be requested to stick the URL right into a textual content field. Any URL scheme works and you don't should take care of encoding special characters equivalent to areas yourself.